Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. As you can see by the title, this video is going to be some sort of update or part 2 to the video I just made a few days ago about my experience with death, which I realize sounds like I was like in a near-death experience, which kind of was a big part of the video that like I wasn't, and that's kind of the point. But you got to get the clickbait out where you can get it, Well, the whole thing was clickbait, and you guys fell for it. It was my best performing video in weeks. I can't believe you guys actually fell for that whole thing I did. I put it all on. It was one show. It was one big show. But I was asked to make an update to that video, and I do have a few things I want to say because it was just such an overwhelming response that just hit me really hard, and I feel like it would be good for me to kind of revisit it and have everyone see where I'm at with the situation, because it's really important to me and it seems like it was really important to a lot of other people. So there's not really any structure for this video, just like the last one I did, but I do want to just jump in and first off say thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the support, all of the kind words, everything that you guys said, whether it was from people who were watching me for the first time or from very close friends of mine. I heard very overwhelming support from basically every corner of my audience, and I didn't exactly expect that. I think I said in the video that I was at least expecting it to have a wonderful response, at least on a small scale, but I really did think that the video would probably be one of my worst performing videos because it just isn't what I usually make. And when I think about how my videos perform, I usually think, well, the videos that have the interesting reaction stuff is what performs the best because it's what people want to see. But when I do things that are off to the side, it's more about what I want to talk about, and people don't care about me, they care about the content. And this was the first time that I realized that my audience is there for me, and even if they're not interested in something I'm talking about, that doesn't mean that they're not interested in me and my life as a person. And that's a huge thing to realize, because there are so many creators out there who don't have that privilege that I have, to have an audience that really does want to hear what I have to say. And I don't know what I did to deserve that, but I am very, very grateful for it. I shot the video a few nights before I put it out, and you know what my thoughts were going into the video because I sort of was just doing a stream of consciousness about what I was thinking. But I do want to talk about what it was like after the video uploading and everything. I finished the video and it was nice to get off of my chest, and I was gonna edit it that night, but it was already late, and I wasn't in the best place after recording it, and so I just decided to take another day. The next night I decided to tackle it, and it was just not fun to edit. It was easier to edit it, of course, than it was to shoot, because when I was shooting it, obviously you can see I was overwhelmed and emotional, and there were parts of it that I had to like take minutes at a time to recollect myself, because it's a lot to say that kind of stuff out loud. There's a lot of that stuff that runs through my head, and it seems too dark for me to really talk about it without it really hitting me like a truck. But being able to say it to a camera when it's a lot of stuff that I've really never even said to the closest friends in my life is a really big thing, and it's really hard to throw that out there not knowing if it's going to be seen by hundreds of thousands of people. And even that number, I know at least I can't wrap that number around my head, because just talking here right now, like, I feel like I need to have a second cameraman, I need to have a whole lighting system. Knowing that hundreds of thousands of people are about to watch what you have to say is not something that I don't think the human brain can like really comprehend. When I was in Las Vegas and I was heading back, there was a mom that came up to me, and I was outside of the airport, and she was like, "Me and my daughter watch your videos all the time," and her daughter came outside, and they were super nice, and it was awesome to meet them. I also met a few other people in Las Vegas. Shout out to you if I met you. Sorry, I'm not giving you what you deserve right now by saying this. And this isn't really the video that I think you're gonna be like, "Guys, Nick is not green shouted me out after I met him. You gotta go watch his video called My Experience with Death Update." It doesn't really make sense. But it was one of those times where I realized, I was like, wow, I not really putting enough pressure on myself to be careful with what I'm saying, because I don't think enough about what I'm saying, where I'm like, okay, a mom and her daughter are going to watch this together, let me think about what I'm going to say. And I definitely am not in the headspace to think about what I say and be like, oh, a lot of moms and a lot of daughters are watching what I'm saying. And so that's something that's weird, and I think that's something that's weird for a lot of content creators, because I don't know how you're supposed to grapple with the idea of so many people watching you, and I don't think you ever really do. Because there's creators out there, including myself, who are putting out content that is viewed by more people than fully produced televisions are viewed by. And that's like a weird thing to think about, because I don't put nearly enough work into this for it to be viewed by as many people as it is. And I don't think humans were biologically made to be even seen by this many people around the world, or at least the country. And I know that sounds like I'm saying I'm like this massive creator, but that's the crazy thing about it, is that I'm not. And there's way bigger creators out there who are seen by way more people and can't really figure it out. But for me, at least, this is a lot. Even right now, I'm like, should I even be putting this part in the video, because so many people are going to watch it? But also, is that something I need to accept, because that's the reason people want to watch me in the first place, I guess. Either way, none of that really matters. That's not what the video is about. But you know, if you ran into me and we met in person, thank you for being so kind, and you should DM me or something and say hi. I don't really read through all my DMs, because sometimes I get some really nasty ones, some really nasty people, so I like try to avoid it. But sometimes, every once in a while, I'll catch a DM from someone cool, and I get to respond and have that cool little back and forth. But I love meeting people in person. So far, I have not had a single bad interaction with somebody in person. The only scary interaction was that person at the airport, because I forgot to bring a mask to the airport, and I was freaking out because I couldn't find one, and I was trying to like get someone from inside to like get me one before I went inside. And so I was like, they probably think I'm like an anti-masker, because I'm scrambling to find one before I enter the airport. And I should have asked them. They probably would have understood if I was like, hey, thanks for watching me. Also, can you go in and waste your time before your flight trying to find me a mask so I can get to my flight? I did end up getting a mask, okay? I swear I didn't mean to talk to you outside of the airport without a mask on. I would have put one on if I had one. That's why I was standing outside of the airport. But they were so kind. They were very kind. That's besides the point, though. I just had to say that, because I don't want them walking around thinking, hey, is Nick an anti-masker? I am, but I would at least like to put up the guise that I do believe in the virus. Everyone knows it's not real, though. Everyone knows that we're just doing it to, you know, comply with the government, you know? That was a joke. So the editing was not fun. I was going through it, and I also like used this program to cut the silence out of my videos. And if you make the settings too loose, then you have to kind of like cut the awkward silence out of the edges. So I tried to make the settings really strict on when it would cut off the silence, so I didn't have to edit it as much, because I really just wanted to like get through the video without hearing myself talk as much as I could. And I was like, the sooner I can get this done with, the better I will be off. But I ended up making the settings too tight, and so a lot of the beginnings of my sentences got cut off. And I know that was a very sloppily edited video and whatever, but I don't think anyone actually cares. I'm just saying that for myself to feel better about saying it. I don't know. Let's talk about another fear. I'm reading Twitter right now, and there's a whole interview with Samuel L. Jackson talking about how he's fighting the fear of getting caught up in Alzheimer's like his parents, which is also another big fear that I have. But you know, that's a conversation for another day. That is very scary. But it's like, even people like him, people that have all the money in the world and do all this crazy stuff and are seen as these huge characters in our world, they're struggling with the same exact fears, you know? We're just like the billionaires out there. Jeff Bezos is just like us, is what I'm trying to say. That's what I want you guys to walk away with today. But yeah, that's about it. Okay, bye. Just kidding. We haven't even talked about the response. Usually my morning routine is that I wake up at 10 a.m. to promote whatever video I'm putting out that day, and I go back to sleep, and then I wake up to see the reaction. But the video that went out the other day, I really wanted to see the reaction as I put it out. So I put it out like at 11 a.m. or something, or 12, and I like stayed up a little bit to watch it. And all of a sudden, such a crazy amount of people were commenting, sending me DMs. I mean, I couldn't even keep up with my DMs with my friends because they were just so supportive about it. And it was something that like friends of mine who I've been friends with since I was like 14 for almost 9 years now would message me and tell me that they really liked the video and that it was really like cool to see that insight. And a lot of them didn't relate with it, and that was okay and expected. Like, that's kind of the point of the videos, that I felt alone in it. And it was nice to at least hear from certain people that even though they didn't fully feel the same feelings I did, that they recognized it and that they were proud of me for talking about it. And that is such a cool feeling. But what I didn't expect is just the massive amount of comments that were saying that they felt the exact same way I did, and that they experience very similar things I did with their upbringing and the way that their brain processes these kind of topics and these heavy ideas, and the way that their brain kind of puts it into a loop, and their experiences with ADHD and OCD and religious trauma, or whatever you want to call it. And that's something I did not expect in a million years, was the amount of people who said that they had the same exact experience as me. And that is something that I just am so blown away by. I cannot tell you enough how much I felt like I wasn't alone in that day, like the most in a long time, because for a long time, I could not find people who really identified with that. I really only felt people on the one side saying that they were confident about their idea of the afterlife, and then people on the other side who said they didn't really care and they didn't really worry about it that much. And now I found myself in a community of people who I can not only identify, I got a sneeze coming on, push through it, identify with what I'm saying, but can also feel comfort in knowing that they're not alone, including myself, because I didn't think that I'd have that many people saying that. We have this Twitter community, which is something I'm still trying to figure out. I'll link it in the description, but you can basically join a community that you can tweet into, where other people from my community can see the tweets and you guys can kind of discuss. And it was just tweet after tweet of people talking about the video and how much it meant to them. And it was crazy just scrolling through it, like minute after minute, seeing new comments about someone's experience with everything. And I saw everything from people who experienced what I did but stayed with religion but still feel the same way, and people who were never religious but feel this way, and people who are, strong in their religion but still worry about their family members. And it's like everyone has these experiences in different ways, or even in the same way. In a lot of circumstances, there were people that said that it was like eerily similar to their experience with what I talked about. And it was cool. Like, I'm continually reading through every single comment and reading everyone's stories, and people are writing out these long paragraphs. And you might think, even if you don't have that many likes on your comment and you wrote out like multiple paragraphs, I most likely read it. I read a lot of comments. I just sat there scrolling on my phone. There was this one comment that was someone talking about the idea of being beautifully insignificant, I think it was. And it was such a great comment. It was like talking about how the idea of being so small on this like rock flying through space and just having really no importance in the world shouldn't be viewed as this thing that is meaningless, but it should be viewed as this thing that is beautifully insignificant, knowing that the only thing that really should matter to you is what you have and what your surroundings are. And you don't need to be stressed about the big game and the huge things going on in life, because that's not for you to worry about. This is something that is so personal because it's so small. I could multiply the amount of people who watch my YouTube channel by 100, and still the majority of people that you go out there will never have heard of me, will never know my name. And that's only in the time frame that I'm alive. That's not even considering all the people that existed before me and all the people that are going to exist after me. And knowing that I'm so insignificant is troubling, and it hurts, and it is sad, but it also is all of those things because I've been conditioned to feel that way, and I've been conditioned to feel like I need to be more important than I am. And I think that it might be something that takes me a while to learn, but it's at least important to me to know that there are no rules to life, and it's okay to be insignificant, and it's okay to own it and be like, yeah, I might not matter. I might not have some bigger purpose, and I might just be this tiny little thing that is just never going to be known by, the 99.99999% of people. But that's okay, because it also means that nothing really holds any massive importance, and there's nothing to be stressed about, because you're important to you, and I don't want anyone else to be as important to me as I am to myself, if that makes sense. I don't want the theme of my life to be centered around some other person that I don't care about. And that's not really saying it in like a self-obsessive way. It's just saying it in a way where if my life isn't centered around me and my existence, and I'm just spectating from a third person point of view on someone, then why should I care? Because if they're gone, I'm still just spectating, and none of that really held any importance to me because I can't feel the things they feel, and I don't have those experiences. You can say the same thing about watching a movie and how we, start caring for people who are on the screen, but the only reason we care about them is because of the main experiences we felt ourselves, and because we know the emotions, the root of the emotions that they're feeling. I sound like a freaking psychiatrist. I mean, I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy talking, and I'm probably not as smart as most people watching my videos, videos. But what I am is, what am I? Do I have any purpose or importance? I think I'm relatable, and I think I can talk. I can talk. And I'm good at expressing emotion, maybe. Okay, that'll be my brag of the day. I think if I have a purpose, which I don't, but if I had to make up a purpose, and something that I think I'm good at, you know, I think it would be that I am good at talking to people, and I'm good at what's the, I don't freaking know. I can't think of the word. I think people just like connect with me, I guess. I don't know. No one likes complimenting themselves. I think a lot of the reason I wanted to make follow-up to this video, which I wasn't going to do in the first place, it was just going to be a one-off, but I wanted people to know that I hear you, and I read all of the comments and responses, and I tried to read as many emails as I could and DMs. I mean, everywhere people were sending me support and telling me their stories, and I love hearing that, and I like to continue hearing that, and I'm gonna read as many as I can. I still have a lot to read, so don't think that I run out. I'm still trying, but I feel free to send me anything if you want to. I will always try to take the time to at least read it, but if I didn't respond, I'm sorry, but just know that we're not alone here. And if you need people to connect with, and you need to talk to people, or you at least just want a community, you have a community here, whether it's through Twitter. I'll link that Twitter community below, or if it's with Discord, that is super positive and there's a lot of great people in there. All I really wanted from the beginning of this channel and everything I do is to be able to put out content that I'm happy with and have people connect with it and respond to it. And I never really thought it was going to ever go this deep. I never really thought I would get this personal with it, but I'm so happy that I did it, and I don't have any regrets with the things that I put out there and the things that I told you guys, and I've never felt better about putting something so personal online and in front of so many people. So yeah, I guess that's it for now. Other updates on my life: I'm trying to do a lot more interviews and stuff that really makes me happy and feel fulfilled, which is kind of what I want to end up doing. I want to talk to people and do weird things, and there's going to be a lot more of that coming. It definitely takes a hit on the channel, and it's tough for me to feel like it's worth it, but I know that this is right for the channel, and I know that I'm proud of it. So if you want to support that, or if you sound like you're interested in it, don't feel obligated. But my video with Chris, the yo-yoer, my video with Martin, the water sommelier, and my video with Jack, the puppet guy from way back when. I mean, all those videos, they performed horribly, and they're all some of my favorite videos I've ever made, and some of the most positive videos with the most positive reception. But especially those last two that I just did in Vegas, they really did bad. But I think both those guys are very special, Chris and Martin, and they were so kind to do those interviews with me. And if you want to check it out, feel free to do so, and let me know what you think in the comments, because I would really appreciate that. And we have another interview coming out probably tomorrow, or maybe it already came out, where I interviewed a sword swallower, and I'm very excited for that to come out because it's a very fun video. All these interviews happened so last minute, but I have so many more planned. I've been putting out ads on places and trying to get responses, and I'm excited for what's to come, and I'm going on a lot more trips, and this channel will hit another level, I swear. Part of me is wondering if I need to put these interviews on the main channel because they're more important to me. You know what? Before this video comes out, I'm going to make a playlist of all of my favorite videos I've made, the videos that mean the most to me, and I will link it below. Feel free to go down there, and that's going to be the place where I start putting these videos that I'm like really into, where I talk to people, and videos where I go out and do stuff. And I'm excited for you guys to see these ones because I think that they're important, and I think it's where I shine the most, I guess. I don't know. I've been given a very lucky position in my life, a very privileged position, and I've been given a lot more of an audience than I deserve for the amount of things I've done to deserve it. I don't know if that makes sense. Because I have that privilege, I'm gonna take advantage of it and try to put things out that I think are cool and important, and also, I don't know. I don't know if the daily videos really represent that, but I probably will still put daily videos out just because I love this community, and I like putting things out there and having people congregate and talk about it in the comments, and I just like growing the community, and this is really what I'm passionate about, and it's the only thing that I could ever see myself doing in my life. besides some other projects that are coming up soon. I'm very excited about a lot of things that are happening that you guys don't know about yet. Hey, I just wanted to give a last update because I took like many more days to make this video than I thought I would. I like shot the video and then I just stopped. I didn't edit it for a few days because I've been busy with some other stuff. All I wanted to add to this is that I talked to my therapist about the video. She was very happy about the turnout of it and everything. But she mentioned this thing that I really liked while we were talking about it, where she basically mentioned that this is a thing for me that has always been uncontrollable. It's always been this thing that has this grip on me, and it's this thought that gets in my head and I can't really stop thinking about it. And by making the video, it has resulted in me turning around and taking control of the situation and saying that this is something that I will be in control of now, and something that I won't let dictate how I feel and how I think about this whole concept. And so by making the video, it's sort of this way of me starting to gain control and say, no, bad intrusive thoughts, bad, 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 no more. And so, yeah, I really liked that idea, and I want to continue to kind of frame my thoughts around it in that way, where if I start to think of it, I can find more ways to not only stop it from intruding my thoughts, but to take control of it and sort of be the alpha mind of Nick is Not Green 2022. All right, I think that's all I wanted to say. But everything's going great so far, and things haven't been that bad lately in terms of the whole death existential thing. So cool. That's fun. That's always great. Anyways, I think that's going to be it for me. I appreciate your support more than ever, and I can't wait for what's to come. Thank you guys for watching, and leave another comment down below. I would appreciate that. And that's about it, I think. Thank you all. Bye.